we have reservations. In the village of Lac du Cerf, population give or take 150, there are only 2 restaurants. And we always go to the casse-croûte, quatre saisons. But tonight, we're going to the other place. The place that boasts lakeside views and chicken wings. Grandmama has forced my uncles to abandon their fishing vests for the evening, and my mom and my aunts take turns doing their makeup in front of the light-up vanity mirror. You know, the kind you have to plug in that open up like a book and you fold them out into a million parts, that thing. And all of us, the whole family, we're all standing outside of my grandparents' house trying to figure out who is going to be driving whom in whose car. And then Uncle number 1 realizes that he's left his wallet inside his fishing vest, and so he runs into the house. That's giving just enough time for my grandmama to notice a spot where my mom's hair gel hasn't quite combated the summer humidity. So then my mom runs back into the house, and my grandpapa, he just sits in the front seat of his car, door wide open, legs out the side, right arm on the steering wheel, and I can tell that this is going to take a while. So I wander over to the other side of the house, the side that faces the lake. Yes, the same lake that we're supposed to be eating in front of in about 15 minutes. Except from here, the only thing to look at are the houses lining the water. Now, on the right, there's this boat garage that juts out into the lake. I've never seen anybody go in, and I've never seen anybody come out. On the other side of me, there's the little red house with the white window panes. I've played with their grandkids a few times, Sarah and Eva, but it's the house after that that's my favorite house. Now, we don't know the people that live there, so I've never actually gotten to see it up close, but from where I'm standing, it looks as if a squat tree trunk has just been sawed off, and at the top there's just this massive emerald rooftop that curls up at the sides. And around it, there's this white fence that goes all around the house, comes down around the patio, around the fire pit, and it keeps going as if it goes right into the lake itself. And I love to think about what the inside of this house might look like. And I'll bet that if I go into the basement of that house, if I go all the way down the stairs and look around a little bit, that I'll find a magic porthole that leads into Lac du Cerf's secret underground kingdom. But something is off right now. There's smoke coming from the fire pit, and there's nobody around. And I just have this weird feeling. I feel like maybe this is the kind of thing they talked about in school and warn you about something about open flames and what you're supposed to do. And I don't know. So I run out to the front of the house to tell my mom, and everyone is just standing out on the lawn looking at the front door of our grandparents' house, where Uncle number 2 and his wife are trying to negotiate with their toddler, trying to get her to use the bathroom before we get into the car. I plant my feet, I take a deep breath. I think there's a fire starting a couple houses down. Nobody notices, except for my mom, and I'm pretty sure the only reason she's surprised is because she's only now realized that I've actually been away from the group for the last few minutes. Francesca, I am not falling for it this time. She looks at everyone else. She's going through a phase, she says. All 6-year-olds do. And here's the thing, is my mom is not wrong. Just a couple months before, I swore to her, I swear, that I didn't leave my new art set in the backyard. I had just gotten it for my birthday, and it came with markers and watercolor paints and the widest range of Crayola crayons that I've ever seen in my life. And my favorite part of it was that all of this was organized in this box, this cardboard box meant to look like a suitcase. A few hours later, when we found it in the backyard, watercolors ruined by the rain, the cardboard box just a soggy mess, I told my mom, I'm just as surprised as you are. I guess the dog must have brought it out here. We did not have a dog. A little while later, my mom picked me up from school, and she noticed that my bag was jangling, like it was full of coins. And she looked inside to find not just loonies and toonies, which would have been weird enough for a kindergartner, but a wad of $100 bills. She goes to talk to my kindergarten teacher about it, Miss Jane, who immediately offers up condolences. It's our understanding that your family has recently lost a dog, ma'am. And, children grieve in all sorts of ways. It's sweet, really. It's just that Francesca's been telling her friends that her dog has been taken to Mexico and that she's raising funds so that she can go get it. And that's how my mom and Miss Jane figure out that another girl in my class was so moved by my story that she stole the cash from her parents' bedside tables. And of course, how could I forget the time when I told everybody who would listen that the thing my mom wants more than anything in the whole wide world is a penis. So that she can pee standing up, obviously. But, that is a whole other story, and you can listen to it on episode 45 of the Confabulation podcast. So all that to say, my mom is very well within her right mind not to listen to a word that I say. Stay put, we're leaving any minute now, is what she tells me. But the second she looks away, I run back to the other side of the house. And I can see now that the smoke has gotten bigger and darker and angrier, and that there really are flames, except I can't really tell from here how big they are or how close they're getting to the pillowy patio furniture. So I run back to the other side of the house, and I see that my younger cousin has started a trend of going into the bathroom, and so my mom is now waiting in line. Mom, there really is a fire. I think there really, really is a fire, I tell her. Francesca, she says, you know how much I appreciate your imagination, but this is not something to lie about. I'm not laughing. It's real, Mom. I swear there really is a fire. Please just come look. Francesca, I've had it. I've had it. If I come back there and learn that you are lying, you are going to be in serious trouble. Do you understand me? Now, I've never been in serious trouble before. Trouble, sure, yeah, like loads of times. But serious trouble, that's a whole other thing. And I'm starting to doubt myself. So I run to the other side of the house again. And now I see that the flames, they really are there. They really are real. They really are big. And they really are hot. And the smoke has gotten so dark that I can't even see the patio furniture anymore. So I run back to the other side. And I see that everyone in my family has resumed their original positions, standing around the cars. Mom, please just come look, I say. Everyone starts to protest. But the reservations, but the lakeside views, the chicken wings. My mom throws her hands up. This will only take a minute. And I can tell that she's wondering what kind of serious trouble she's going to have to put me in. And that's when my grandpapa speaks for the first time, I think, this whole day, or maybe even this whole summer. But he gets up and he goes, hey, is that smoke over there? And then everything that happens next just happens in fast forward. Uncle number one runs back inside the house to call the fire department. Neighbors run out with their hoses and their buckets, and it feels like it only takes a few minutes before everything is under control again. They're lucky, Grandpa said. If we hadn't noticed when we did, then their whole house could be on fire. Maybe our house could be on fire. The homeowners arrived shortly after all the action has pretty much died down. It turns out one of their neighbors had called them over at 4 Saisons to let them know they thought something was burning in their backyard. And they're coming around now to thank everyone that helped out. My mom steps up and says, you know, the person you should really thank is my daughter. And she pushes me to the front of the crowd. Mrs. Emerald Tin Roof looks at me and says, "Ah, what a special little girl you have. You must be very proud." "Yes," my mom says, beaming me. "I am proud. You better believe I am." Thank you.